Okay, so I guess I want to remind you real quickly that I is equal to the square root of 1 minus 1, and I squared, if I square that I get what's underneath, and I get minus 1, and I to the third is equal to minus the square root of minus 1, and I to the fourth is equal to 1, or positive 1. So if I get to I to the fourth, I have no effect at all if I multiply by 1. If I get I squared, my effect is to change the sign. I can turn the I squared into a negative 1, change the sign, and forget about the I. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. This one's a little bit more interesting because we're going to say, let's combine these. The square root of 6 and the square root of 3. I said I was going to combine them. So let me go ahead and do that and say the square root of 18 times the square root of negative 2. Let me convert that as well. I'm going to say the square root of 2, and I'm going to say I times that, because the I covers the negative 1 inside this negative. That's for my I there. And the square root of 16, and also I'm going to put an I out for that as well. We'll come back to that. Plus the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is 2, and you've got this negative, so we're going to say I. Then we'll say minus 6. And we've got 8 times 2 is the square root of 16 there. If I put the 8 and the 2 together, I multiply them. I have a negative, so I'm going to say I there as well. Now let's continue on simplifying. Let's see, we're going to say 18 times 2, so that would be the square root of 36. I like that a lot better. I also have the square root of 16. I'm going to put these i's together to make I squared, I times I, plus 2i, minus 6, and I can turn the square root of 16 into a 4, and then there's I. Okay, so same thing continuing on here. We're going to say the square root of 36 is 6, the square root of 16 is 4. We have I squared, which should really be a negative, so we're just going to write a negative there and forget about the I. We're going to say plus 2 and I. Negative 6 times 4. I know that negative was out in front, but the 6 owns it. So negative 6 times 4 is negative 24, and there's an I with this. And okay, so we have negative 24 to lead off here. And then I have a positive 2 and a negative 24. They're both I, so I'm going to end up with a negative 22I. And that's my answer. I'm going to stop there. That's as much as I can do.